Hi, this is Norma from Norma's Art Creations, and happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm doing this video to show you some of the things that I've been doing with resin art, and tonight I'm going to try to do something with a shamrock in it. I've been doing some pouring, trying to do what Julie from Pouring Your Heart Out. She does a very good job, and I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to bring you down to show you that I've been doing a little bit of tit-tat-toe games right here, and we're going to unmold this and we'll also be pouring another one tonight, at least the X's and the O's. So let's get to pouring. Well, I've been wanting to try something for St. Patrick's Day, and I want to really do a 4-leaf clover. And I've been watching Jilly Cube do, and other people do the resin flowers, the 3D flowers. And so I'm going to try to do only 2 coasters today. One, I'm going to try to do the St. Patrick's Day 4-leaf clover, and the other one I'm going to do some resin art. These are small coasters that I got from Hobby Lobby that are actually in the baking section. So I have leveled them. I have a board. I also have plastic. I have a piece of my white foam board underneath just to give it a little bit of cushion and to make it level. I have it level. I've checked both places. I've also marked underneath, like Jilly Cube did, the center. So if you wanted to put something different in the center, then you could do that because you've marked it and kept it. I would like to try, and I'm timing my resin because at 20 minutes, I've mixed it up, and at 20 minutes, I wanted to start mixing things, and then at 30 minutes I want to start piping. She starts at 40 minutes, but this is Art and Glow resin and not her crystal clear that they can get overseas that we can't get. And so I'm going to try at 30 minutes and see, and if it doesn't, then I'll go to the 40 minutes. She has this all timed out for you. So I'm going to mix up some paint. I'm going to go with the same, I'm going to use the same little jugs that I used a few minutes ago for the tit-tat-toe. And actually this one even has a little glitter in it, and I don't care if it has it, because that'll be the one I use for the one that I'm going to put a little bit of glitter in it after. But I think I've wiped it out, and I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to start, and I'm not going to use to pipe the 3-leaf, 4-leaf clover. I'm not going to start piping with white. I'm going to pipe with the green casting craft opaque pigment concentrate, and it just says green, and we'll be using very little drops of that in our resin. So I'm going to take and come up to where's my mark? I don't need that much resin, so I'm going to come up to about the 40 line and try to see how much I get with that. So I'm going to start mixing my paints because I have 3 minutes to go till I pour the paint into the resin into the molds. So I'm going to give them a stir, and she has me, this is what she said, mix it in a big bowl, keep it sitting in a big bowl, because then it's going to not set up as fast. So I'm going to pour that out, and I might only have enough for one, I don't know. I'm going to pour some in here, the same, because the rest is going to go in the mold. And I might have only made enough. I didn't make a lot because I figured I wanted to experiment. I want to use the same degree of pigment color that I used with the on the tic-tac-toe game, and but I didn't use this opaque pigment for that, and that's where I'm going to be piping. This is what I'm going to be piping with. So I'm going to go 1, oh my gosh, it's stringing, 2, oh, 3. I'm going to mix that up and see how it goes before I try and see what color I get. This is a very pretty green. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. So that's what I want to pipe with, and that's a lot of color, so I think we're fine with that. I don't think we need any more. I'm going to wipe it off. Don't think we need any more color. So I'm going to put the lid on that. Now, what I would like to do instead of mixing another color, I do need some white though. Let's see. How am I going to do this? Well, for the other one, I actually need white, so I guess I'll set these aside. So my idea is going to evolve to white, because in the second one, I want to pipe white. In fact, I might do this in the first one and see what it does. Okay, I did snip the lid because it's very hard to get. There's our timer that I can pour. Guess I'm going to have to snip the lid a little bit more. There's 1, 2, 3, no, that one went out. 4, 5, 6, because of how much I have in here. We're just going to let that drip. What's coming down, we're just going to let it drip. Okay. So I went and got some green glitter just to put in the middle of the one, and I don't want to put a lot in, and I'm going to mix it up with the resin, some resin, and this is just going to go right in the middle. Okay, I think it's time to try to pour the resin in. Well, I'm going to have to mix up some more for the other one. So, might as well just go ahead and use this up. Then I'm going to wipe out this bowl so that I can use it again. Okay, it's only been about 5 minutes since I piped, and look at how pretty that's already turning out. I'm going to cover it, and we're going to come back in about 4 hours and check the other ones that I've got covered over here. That's our tic-tac-toe, and the ones I just added a little bit of coating to, just because I had a little piping left over. I just added it to the other molds and just put them on there. So we're going to come back in about 4 hours and put a top coat on the tic-tac-toe game and check these. I'm going to cover this one up. Look how pretty it already is. And I did use the white piping and put it in that dice mold, so we'll see how that comes. I've never done that before either. Okay, I have my mold. I've already checked my mold to see if it was level, and it's level. So I'm going to put some clear resin in it, and I'm going to let it set. And I'm going to check for edges and try to make sure there's no bubbles in the edges. So if I pour it slow, and it looks like there's something in there, but it could be that it's just something underneath the mold. Because I poured on this last night, and I have some stuff on the plastic underneath it. So I want to get a good coat of this in here. And make it pretty thick. I might have to mix up a little bit more resin for the casting. I think I will. This will give me an idea of how much I need to mix up for this mold. And evidently I did take some out and do my 2 O's, make them green, and so I did take a little cup, a little 2 ounce cup. So I've taken the 2 ounces, and that's probably what I would have needed for here. For bubbles, I don't take in torch. I take in spray alcohol, straight alcohol. This is 90% alcohol, and the bubbles come up. And I like to take my skewer, not the pointed end, and kind of run around the edge, making sure there's no bubbles. And I see something in there that I don't want. I'm going to take that out. I think that other is underneath it, so I don't think this is in the mold. I think that's underneath the resin. But I want to make sure that I go around and make sure that there's no bubbles on the edge. No air bubbles. I want this to come out really, really pretty. And then I check it again across. See if I see any bubbles, and I'll be checking it again. Now I'll be mixing up a little bit more resin. And putting it aside for my casting. And I don't need a lot, so I'm going to come in to the very first little indent. Okay, and this is my hardener. Whoops, right there, right there. My resin. So right on the nose. And I'll have to stir them up again for 3 minutes. I'll wait until I get it in the cup. I use the same cup. There's nothing wrong with using the same cup. I have a board underneath on my table to make sure that I have support. And I have plastic on the board. And I'm trying to make sure that my plastic is level so that I don't have any little crinks, because that will, looks like there might be one underneath that you don't want your mold to be unlevel. Let me see if I can move that a little bit. Probably can't. Yeah, I think that's good. I don't want to get resin all over my gloves. So I've taken the resin and put it in this little cup where I have a little bit of mica powder. It's a green mica powder. It's a emerald that I'm making the tit-tat-toe games out of. And I'm going to put a little bit more mica powder in there. And I had a stick that I was just taking and putting a little bit of mica powder on there. Like the color. Love this color. It's a pretty green. So I'm going to stir that up. And I have just one of those little shot glasses because I'm not going to need a lot of this resin. So I'm just taking and putting it in a little shot glass. And I'm going to put some of the pigment concentrate in it, and I'm going to use the green so that I don't dull my color. It's casting crass opaque pigment, and I'm going to put about, in this small container, I'm going to put about 4 drops. 1, oh my goodness, 2, I think I'm going to put 3 because those are a lot. I think I probably put more than what I needed. So I'm going to stir that. And this is what makes your resin with the pigment. It is what makes it 3D. So I'm going to be piping it with a bag like you do a cake decorating. So I want to make sure I get that nice and smooth. I want to get it in there and mixed really good. Okay, I think that's going to be really pretty. Now I'm going to pour this all in my bag. And I want to let it sit just a little bit longer. I should have about 10 more minutes before I start piping. Okay, well, I think it's about piping time, and we're going to check to see if the thickness, and that's just really good. So what I'm going to try to do is take and I call it upside down hearts. So we're going to make a heart like this and come out. Now I'm going to try to put some, oh, that's my, can you turn the timer off, Chris? Just push the button. And I'm hoping what this will do is spread inside of the flower or shamrock, which I'm hoping it is. I'm going to put some gold glitter. Let me come out and maybe make that a little bit better. Okay, we need a stem. So we're going to come out here. And I'm going to put some green glitter right in the middle. Okay, Chris, do you think I need to come this way? A little bit more? Ooh, it's getting warm in my hands. I can already see it.
Look at how it already sank.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that we need to put green glitter in the middle? A little bit of the green glitter?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit.
That's cute.
And that's our shamrock. It's a little lopsided shamrock. I could come out a little bit more on this one, can't I? A little bit more. Make it a little bit bigger. Where's our stick? I want to play with it. I really like it. I don't think I'm going to play with it at all. I can already see it blooming. Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to take and use the, come around there, Chris, and I'm going to use the blower. You need to go that way.
Can I go straight?
Okay, I'm going to turn it on low just to give it a little bit of movement or heat. Maybe move that in a little bit. Maybe make it look more like a shamrock. It's going to look like a flower anyway. Push it out this way. Push it out this way. And maybe watch it bloom. I think my stem needs to be a little bit thicker. this. I need a stand, Brian, to put my thing on. I think we need a little bit bigger stem.
Alrighty.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Good night.
We'll see what it looks like in the morning.
And this is going to go in here.
Is that a reindeer?
I'm not wasting the resin.
You what?
I'm not wasting the resin.
Yeah.
You can see it globbing, you know, coming out. So I'm going to have some globs. But.
Yeah, but it's already blooming.
It's already blooming. Well, I'm going to unmold this and pull it out. I've actually loosened it to see how it is. It has a little bit of a lip on it over here, so it probably would need to be trimmed off a little bit. I think it's pretty. I think it became a little globby. I probably would try it without the mica powder. Let's see what the other side looks like. Ooh, I don't like that side. It became very globby. So I think I will try this again without the mica powder and see how it does. But it is kind of pretty, and it is St. Patrick's Day, and yes, it doesn't really look like a shamrock, but it kind of looks like a worm or a butterfly or just a flower. But you can really see how the 3D effect is in there. And when I blew the air on it, that's when the color came out of that. And so that gives a very lacy effect when it's in the white, and it gives it a very lacy effect in here too, if you can see the lacy effect. Okay, now this is the tit-tat-toe game that I was pouring, and client wants a green and blue. I have one more green to pour because I like to give them 5 of each, but isn't that pretty? Now what I would like to do is I would like to take their family name and put it on the back of here, and then put a very light coat of resin. So I'm going to ask them if they would like that. You can see where the glitter sunk to the bottom, and here it was very pretty, but it kind of became globby here, and it wasn't even. So I think if you could either put a coat of a green solid over here with no glitter, or you could put a clear, you could put their name across that and put a clear coat, because there is a little bit of a lip, so you do have room to do that. So I'm hoping that I can cut it out. I've got a Cricut, and I'm going to try to take and try that with their name across it, and then put a coat of glitter, and we'll see how that works. I'll let you know. So happy St. Patrick's Day, and just remember, when I can do it, you can do it.